Welcome to another account review. Honestly, not much has changed since the account review. At least I don't think so. So here's my Sermia. I used to use her on an attack set, and honestly, I took her helmet for my Ida, and I took the remaining pieces for my Vildred. Because honestly, I don't even use Sermia anymore. I don't know. PvE, she's good, but at the same time, I don't play PvE. So that's that. Holiday Euphine, just there with a war horn. I wanted to use her as like my second Doom Bunny. Unfortunately, 109 speed, kind of difficult to work with because you can't really match a Conqueror Lilius, and against a Conqueror Lilius, she can just provoke your Euphine. There goes that. So you need a really high effect resistance Euphine. I don't know what to say about her. I tried making her work, but I just can't. Next up, we have Soul Bad Guy. I don't even know why he has this piece, but my man used to be my OG pick into like Pavel and stuff. But that's really it. I do intend to use him in the future, but for right now, he's just there. Now, next up we have Gayron. I hate Gayron, so I took the first exclusive equipment thinking, hey, he's gonna counter. Psych! This guy counters like 1 in 10. Even though it's a 30% chance to counter, he never counters. I hate Gayron. This guy is so gay, I hate him. Like, he has 144 effect resistance, okay? If I reforge this, he's 150. And he still gets debuffed. I don't get what's wrong with him. Dust Devil never procs. You know what? Since it never procs, might as well unequip it. Maybe MLDB is the way on him. I don't know. This guy, when you play with him, he sucks. But when you play against him, it's a whole different story. Do I not have a spare MLDB? No way. Right? There's just no way. There we go. So, I guess MLDB is the way on this guy. If you're going to build Kayron, just coin flip it. And good luck. May he bless you, I guess. Next up, Summer Iseria. Honestly, what a Giga Chad unit. The gear quality on her is so bad. It is so horrible. It is actual dog water half of the time. And she's still very good. I love Caesarea. 10 out of 10. Do recommend. Next up is Politis. Look at those stats, okay? You cannot tell me these are not troll stats. And yet, if I were to make a tier list, Politis is still S tier in my opinion. Just a stupidly strong unit. Just for existing, she is useful, okay? 10 out of 10, do recommend. Build your Politis, goddammit. Next up, Chloe. She's honestly my Wyvern one-shot. Luna, I don't know, man. She just doesn't one-shot Mercedes, so I took her helmet, I took her chest piece, and she's in retirement for now. Next up is Sigret. This Sigret actually one-shots A Ravis in the correct compositions. The only unfortunate part is her crit chance, but other than that, I like her. Actually, low-key pretty good. Rose, I don't even use her. She's using like 3-year-old gear now, and yeah, look, man, all I'm saying is just look at her base speed. 97. Difficult to work with. Next up is our man, Tywin. Really like him. Hila Glance is still lovely, although not as strong as it used to be. I will revamp him soon. But all in all, useful PvE, useful PvP. I like him. Next up is my fastest unit, Kisei, 290 speed, somehow still outsped by Rons, still outsped by Luas, still outsped by Sea Lilius, still outsped by Tomoka, still outsped by Cowrick, still outsped by Pavel. I don't get it. She is 290 speed, and yet gold players still manage to outspeed me. Look, all I have to do is just bump up her crit chance, and she's pretty much my strongest unit. Next up, Cerise. I don't even use Cerise anymore. I'll be honest, I don't even know how to build a Cerise. I wanted to go max speed, max effectiveness. Didn't work, so Maybe I'll just build a tank Cerise later. Next up is my Bellona. Some of her pieces are on Pavel right now. She's just there for Wyvern. Not much going on. Next up is Aria. Really troll, by the way. Her effect resistance isn't that high, and her effectiveness isn't that high either. 69% crit chance, because why not? 200 speed on lifesteal somehow. I don't get it, but it is what it is. Some people will say, hey, she has low defense. Well, let me tell you this. Let's say I do have a 2k defense Aria. What's the point of having so much defense if you have no health? Okay? I'm just saying, when you pick Aria and the enemy Rimuru, S3 is your Aria will die. Okay? My Aria survives Rimuru S3 like a Giga Chad. Next up is Ida, probably my second to third strongest unit. 50 effectiveness isn't much, but 300% crit damage, 200 speed. Just really strong unit. Honestly, I underestimated her, and she quickly became one of my more used units. I didn't even know her S3 pushes all allies, and when I found out about that, really strong unit. I do recommend. Next up, either icon of the channel. Unfortunately, nothing on him. Listen, man, specialty change when. Next up is Lilibet. Rarely use her. Guild War unit. That's it. Yufine. Used to be my Azimnak one-shot, but ever since the buff, yeah, hasn't been hitting the same quote-unquote buff. Next up is Zahak. So since the in 285 Zahak, we believe, I don't know. I haven't been able to use him because if I want to use my Kisei, I have to sacrifice Zahak, and if I want to use Zahak, I have to sacrifice 2 units. So do the math, I want more quantity over quality right now. So poor lad is going to stay there for a while. Next up is the great Mortelex. Honestly, love him. Really nice unit. I usually run him on... Which artifact do I run him on? I usually run him on the Ilinov artifact, which I cannot find right now for some reason. Well, isn't that lovely? Did I not level it up? That could be the case. Yeah, usually I run him on this artifact just for his crit chance. But really, what I should be running him on is Elbrus Ritual Sword. I'm just bond farming him right now, which is why I have Days of Destiny. As you can see, he is getting close. Next up, Auntie Celine. Do not let that 90% crit chance fool you. She always misses crits, and it's pushing me crazy. Maybe because I use her a lot, hence why she misses crits. Honestly, 8 out of 10. Unfortunately, low-key falling off thanks to all the damage sharing shenanigans happening. I mean, she is much better in Guild Wars right now. But as far as RTA goes, has been a while since my Celine really threatened my enemy. Since Emilia fell off and since Diane fell off, she's just not the greatest pick anymore. Next up is my Vildred. He's using my Sirmia gear. He's not even 100% crit chance. Honestly, he's just there for the speed imprint. That's really it. Next up, Bellona. Azimnak one-shot. No gear because obviously I lost my Yufine, so I don't have an Azimnak one-shot team anymore. Next up, Izeria. Don't even ask me why she's geared up. I don't even know if I use her. Honestly, if I do use her, she's not bad, okay? I'm just saying. I think Izeria is still one of the best units out there. I rarely use her anymore. Next up, Pavel. Probably my second or fourth strongest unit in this account. Sasha Zethantes because I enjoy soul burning S2 killing something with S3. I don't like bringing Sasha's on like Watcher Shuri. Although Watcher Shuri is a good Sasha's user, I don't know. Pavel most of the time one-shots something anyways. So him giving the push I think is crucial. Next up, Silk. I don't even use Silk. She's using... This gear is all like 3-year-old gear, so... Silk buff. When I know she got buffed like a while ago, but come on. Increased damage on S3, Self CR push on S2. Yes, she's being pushed down because we already have so many Earth archers. Bellona isn't even anywhere near Silk, but you know, Bellona's Bellona, Izeria is Izeria, Pavel is Pavel, but the real sucker is Landy. Landy has a CR push on her third skill, gives speed buff to all allies. Basically, the only difference between a Silk and a Landy that I can think of is the speed down. That is literally it. Unfortunate. Okay. Who comes after Silk? Vivian, also my Banshee Azimnak one-shot. I'm not farming right now, although I will very soon. So she's just ungeared, I guess. Next up is Destina. Honestly, need to bump up that effect resistance. Need to reduce that crit chance. She's using really old gear. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with my Destina. I love her. I love Destina. I've always been a believer of Destina before her buff. And post-buff, low-key, I wish we had the old Destina. Purely for the CR push. Okay? If old Destina released in this meta, she would be top tier. Just a 45% CR push on the S3. Crazy shit. Next up, Judge Kisei. Ungeared, unfortunately. I do intend to use her with Ambitious T-Win, but for the time being, I don't know what to say. Power creep is real. Next up is Ambitious T-Win. He's getting buffed soon, which is, I don't know, that's a crazy buff. AoE defense break that ignores effect resistance. Low key, I'm gonna miss the speed down, but I'm excited, okay? So what do I want to do with Ambitious T-Win is increases speed, increases effectiveness. That's really it. Next up is Watcher Shuri. He is my Azimnak one-shot unit on Sachets because I tried to use him with Zahak. Didn't really like it that much. Just is what it is. Next up is Maid Chloe. Honestly, not much can be said. She's on this artifact for more effect resistance. I want to bump up her effect resistance while still maintaining her HP. She's good into APOC Ravi in Arena, Guild War, and that stuff. But in terms of RTA, kind of been difficult using her. Next up is Inferno Kawazu. Love this man. Honestly, you cannot go wrong using ML Kawazu. Good unit. My ML Kawazu is much bulkier than a lot of ML Kawazu's out there, and good. There are situations where he does survive with like very little HP and actually gets the kill. So, I don't know, proud of them. Next up is Strays. I use this guy a lot, okay? That pitiful crit damage, it's difficult to look at. I want to bump that number up. I will, probably, question mark. I don't know what to say. When I get a new gear piece, I don't look at my existing units. Oftentimes, I just want to build a new unit. And that's just is what it is. Next up is Arby. Honestly, hard hitter. 300% crit damage, 4k attack. Alexis Basket. Honestly, just a generic Arby. Next up, Briar Witch. Honestly, one of my more used units recently. Love her buff, by the way. Even prior to the buff, I used to use her, but on a much different build. So, I use a crit chance necklace on her because it's really easy to reach 300% crit damage with Destruction Set. And yeah, just kind of artifact to double down on her hit chance. Basically, no Violet, no Aiden is gonna dodge this Briar Witch. Next up is Furious, Wyvern obviously, Lycan for Banshee, Guider Either, unfortunately. Haven't used him since the triple Izeria. That's it really. Here is my ER BBK. So if I reforge this, I get more effect resistance. If I reforge everything basically, I get more effect resistance. Point is, I think with Bastion, she's like 180 ER. And yeah, nothing much to say about her. This is my Troll Riolet. He used to be much faster, but high gear requirements. Am I right? Next up, Angelica, Wyvern. Banshee. And this is my Doom Bunny. I want to 6-star her soon. Honestly, a good unit all around. I should probably bump up the effect resistance, but I can't because if I try, she loses speed, which is her whole deal. I want her to go directly after a Conqueror Lilius. Next up is Edward. Troll gear. I was just using him for PvE. You know, like, not actual PvE content, but just, you know, to bond farm him. He's at bond 7 right now. I say bond 7 because FGO still sticks with me. Next up is Ruel. Honestly, I think her gear is pretty much done. Almost. Just waiting for a 6-star. Aros, haven't used him for a very long time. Probably should. I will. Next up is Pylus. She used to be fully geared, but you know, she's not 6-starred, so I took the other gear from her. And she's just been sitting like that ever since. Next up is Tamarin. Look, listen. I know she has no chest piece, but she does her job, okay? So I haven't had a reason to 6-star her yet. Mercedes, I don't care. Fire Shuri, I don't care. Yeah, let's move to Shu. Honestly, just waiting to 6-star her. I'll check her gear after the 6-star. Probably should bump up that crit chance up, and she'll be nice. Next up is Violet. Fully geared up, just waiting for a 6-star. Should probably max up his MLDB, but too lazy. Here's Leo. Use him for Banshee. Do I even have my Lorena geared? No, I do not. I know I have an Apoc Ravi, I just refuse to use her. And that should be the account review. Yeah, I think that's it. My level 33 Basar unfortunately retired. Crow used to be fully geared, but I never leveled him up, so eventually I stripped his gear. And yeah, that should be all of it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.